It was quite shocking to hear Robert Lewandowski talk about how his time at Bayern Munich was over. The Polish international has become a legend during his time with the Bavarian Giants, but with just a year left on his current deal, there was always a chance that he would want to leave on his terms. The veteran striker is attracting interest from Barcelona, and the move is likely to happen in the coming weeks. Manchester United are in dire need of a young striker who guarantees regular goals, and their sights were set on Darwin Nunez of Benfica. However, Liverpool have thrown their hat in the ring, which means that the young striker now has other options on the table. AC Milan are on the verge of sealing a deal for Renato Sanches, which will be quite a coup for the Rossoneri, who will be out Franck Kessie for the next season. So, are you ready for your daily dose of everything football? If you are, then make sure to like the video and hit the subscribe button. Targeted for a while by AC Milan, Renato Sanches is very close to joining the Rossoneri. The Portuguese midfielder has already agreed terms. AC Milan love to sign players from Lille. Last year, the Rossoneri bet on Mike Maignan to replace Gianluigi Donnarumma after the Italian left for Paris. A winning choice since the talented shot stopper was monstrous and crucial in their Scudetto triumph. Delighted with this purchase, the Lombards decided to continue their shopping in the north of France. This summer, two mastiffs are courted. First, there is Sven Botman. The defender has been followed for a very long time, but the competition is fierce for the Dutchman since Newcastle, Manchester United, and Tottenham are seduced by his profile. Sky Italia indicates that this case is currently very complicated. On the other hand, the Transalpine media is more optimistic about Renato Sanches, the other Lille player who is targeted by the Italian champions. With 32 matches in all competitions, including 27 as a starter, the Portuguese midfielder scored 2 goals and delivered 5 assists. His qualities are highly appreciated by AC Milan, who want to bring him in this summer. And obviously, the former Bayern Munich player is interested. Sky Italia assures that Renato Sanches has given the green light to join Milan. He should be Stefano Pioli's first summer reinforcement. Indeed, the player, who is under contract until 2023, should be transferred next week. The Rossoneri are said to be settling the final details of the operation with Lille. The young midfielder could be sold for an amount between 18 and 20 million euros, which seems consistent for a player who has 1 year left on his contract and who was bought for the same amount by the Northerners in 2019. Already in agreement with the Italians, the Portuguese, who came to Milan a few days ago to get to know the club and the city, will receive a salary of 3 million euros per year. The end of the soap opera is therefore very close. Liverpool have already been convinced. This season, the Reds faced Benfica in the Champions League quarter-finals, 2 matches during which they were able to discover the talent and qualities of Darwin Nunez, who scored 2 goals against Jurgen Klopp's side. On April 13th, after the return leg, Jurgen Klopp was on fire for the Uruguayan striker. He's a very good boy. I knew him before, of course, but he played well against us. He is physically strong, fast, calm at the finish. It is very good. If he avoids injuries, he will have a great career. A few months later, it was Virgil van Dijk's turn to praise the 22-year-old footballer. I played against Sergio Aguero, who was obviously amazing. Lionel Messi, arguably the best player in football history, in my opinion. Kylian Mbappe is different, fast. Erling Haaland, Darwin too. He is somewhat similar, very direct and quick, tall and strong. It's quite difficult to play against these guys. The best would certainly be to play with. And this is precisely what the Merseyside club, who fell in love with Darwin Nunez, are considering. Moreover, Record explains that the multiple media outlets of the Reds about the Uruguayan are intended to convince him to sign with them, and obviously this strategy is working. The Portuguese media specifies that the striker, 32 goals and 4 assists this season, wants to join Liverpool. He was impressed with the atmosphere at Anfield as well as the team and the quality of football on offer. For all these reasons, he told Benfica that he had chosen the Reds. Reds who also intend to make the biggest transfer in the history of the club to afford him. Record reveals that the FA Cup winners are preparing an offer of 100 million euros for the centre-forward, who is under contract with Benfica until 2025. It remains to be seen whether this amount could convince the Portuguese giants, since other teams are also on the heels of the Uruguayan. Manchester United have been following him for a while, and Paris Saint-Germain and Real Madrid continue to be very attentive to his situation. Since his first term, Emmanuel Macron has never hidden it. He's a fervent supporter of OM and assiduously follows all the news of the Marseille club. So, inevitably this year, he experienced the crazy end to the Marseille season in the same way as all the supporters. At the microphone of RMC Sport, the President of the Republic sent a message to Marseille supporters, hoping, like many, an interesting transfer window this summer. You know my support, my friendship. Bravo for this season all the same. We know the difficulties of the championship that we have had to live with. I think it held up well. I sincerely hope that the next transfer window is going to go well. Who knows? You talked about great coaches, especially Zinedine Zidane. Their hearts are in Marseille too. We have the right to dream. Well, Monsieur Macron can talk about all he wants, but we don't see him returning to the Velodrome anytime soon. The war of words is officially launched between Bayern Munich and Robert Lewandowski. Upset by the desires of departure of their Polish star, the German club isn't giving up. I'm a little surprised that Robert chose to go public. I wouldn't have done it in his place. I think he knows very well what he has at Bayern, namely a club which treats its players very well, which does everything to allow them to give the best of themselves. And I must say that the appreciation is not a one-way street, regretted Herbert Heiner, the president, just a few days ago. Always in the sights of FC Barcelona, who are visibly struggling to raise the sum demanded by the Bavarian management, the striker is still determined to leave Bayern to join Catalonia 1 year from the end of his contract. At 33, he needs a new project, and he won't go back on his decision. His remarks on Honnête Sport, of which we had a simple glance yesterday, say a lot about his state of mind at the time. Something in me is extinguished, and I can't get over it. I'm leaving because I want more emotions in my life, he said. He goes on to shed light on a relationship that has grown strained over time, despite shared success. When you've been at a club for so many years, always available to play, despite injuries and pain, giving your best, I think it's best to find a good solution for both parties. And do not look for a unilateral decision. That does not make sense. Not after all this time. According to him, he gave Bayern so much that the club should let him go as a service. However, Lewandowski no longer feels that loyalty is something mutual between the two parties, and the best thing possible is to leave as early as possible and on amicable terms. The Pole definitely wants to maintain his legacy, but at the same time does not want to be handed a deal that is not befitting of a player who broke so many records for them over the years.